Let me ask the question again. Would you ever advise the administration that it could disregard an applicable district court opinion or order because you believe the Supreme Court will ultimately overturn it? Yes or no?
I don't want to speculate, but I can't see a situation where I would advise to not follow a court order.
So your answer is no, you would never advise them to disregard a district court order, even if you thought the Supreme Court
Again,
would
I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak.
I just want you to be precise and answer yes or no.
I can't see a time where I would do that. No.
Okay. Mr. Geyser, yes or no?
Thank you very much, Senator Schiff. I would advise clients to follow court orders.
Even if you believe the Supreme Court would ultimately overturn the district court?
Well, Senator, as far as
yes or no?
the answer is the same. The president has said he will follow court orders.
The same answer, yes or no?
Senator, the president has said he will follow.
You were able to answer Senator Kennedy, but I want to make sure that you were not misleading Senator Kennedy. Yes or no, would you ever advise the administration it could ignore a district court order because you believed the Supreme Court would ultimately rule otherwise? Yes or no, would you ever advise them that?
Hello, Patriots. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a deeply troubling moment in Washington. A moment that exposes just how far the radical left and their bureaucratic cronies are willing to go to undermine the Constitution and our sacred rule of law. We're talking about a fiery Senate exchange where Adam Schiff, yes, that Adam Schiff, tried to corner Trump DOJ nominees with a line of questions that reeked of political grandstanding and contempt for conservative legal values. Before we dive deep, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and drop a comment to let the establishment know. We're watching, we're united, and we're fighting back. Stick with us until the end, because what we're about to unpack will arm you with the truth the mainstream media refuses to touch. Now let's talk about what really went down. Schiff tried his usual gotcha game, demanding that legal nominees answer a simple yes or no to whether they'd ever tell a president to ignore a court order if they believe the Supreme Court might eventually rule in their favor. But what he really wanted was to trap these constitutional defenders into a corner, forcing them to parrot Democrat talking points or risk being smeared as lawless extremists. One nominee, Mr. Edllo, finally said no after initially resisting Schiff's theatrical pressure. But Schiff wasn't after honest discussion. He wanted submission. When Mr. Geyser gave well-reasoned legal nuance instead of a one-word answer, Schiff pounced, twisting his words, misrepresenting his position, and acting like the man had just advocated a coup. The arrogance was jaw-dropping. Schiff then...
Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to follow up on Senator Kennedy's line of question and ask a similar line of yes or no questions just to put a finer point and make sure that your answers are as definitive as they sounded. So let me start with you, Mr. Edllo. Yes or no? Would you ever advise the administration that it could ignore or disregard an applicable district court order because you believe the Supreme Court will ultimately overturn it?
Senator, as I said before,
yes, just a yes or no question.
I don't believe I'll ever be in that position.
But you may not. But just like you answered Senator Kennedy, I want to make sure that you were not misleading anyone. So let me ask the question again. Would you ever advise the administration that it could disregard an applicable district court opinion or order because you believe the Supreme Court will ultimately overturn it? Yes or no?
I don't want to speculate, but I can't see a situation where I would advise to not follow a court order.
So your answer is no, you would never advise them to disregard a district court order, even if you thought the Supreme Court
Again,
would
I don't want to
overturn
speak. I don't want to speak.
I just want you to be precise and answer yes or no.
I can't see a time where I would do that. No.
Okay. Mr. Geyser, yes or no?
Thank you very much, Senator Schiff. I would advise clients to follow court orders.
Even if you believe the Supreme Court would ultimately overturn the district court?
Well, Senator, as far as...
Yes or no?
The answer is the same. The president has said he will follow court orders.
The same answer, yes or no?
Senator, the president has said he will follow...
You were able to answer Senator Kennedy, but I want to make sure that you were not misleading Senator Kennedy. Yes or no, would you ever advise the administration it could ignore a district court order because you believed the Supreme Court would ultimately rule otherwise? Yes or no, would you ever advise them that?
Senator, applicable court orders should be followed.
That's not my question. Yes or no?
Senator, you asked me...
Yes or no, Mr. Geyser? It's a simple question.
Senator?
Mr. Geyser, you were able to answer Senator Kennedy. Are you raising a doubt now about your answers to Senator Kennedy because you can't answer this question?
Senator, I would advise clients to follow applicable court orders.
Is that a yes or no?
I would advise clients to follow applicable.
Is that a yes or no? Let me repeat the question so there's no ambiguity about it. Would you ever advise the administration, you're going to be, if you're confirmed heading the Office of Legal Counsel that helps determine whether actions are lawless or lawful, would you ever advise the administration that it could ignore an applicable district court opinion or order because you believed the Supreme Court would ultimately overturn the order? Yes or no?
Senator, if I'm confirmed to lead the Office of Legal Counsel,
All right,
I would.
you're not answering the question. So I guess the answer is to Senator Kennedy, you just might advise the administration to ignore a district court order. How about you, counsel?
Thank you, Senator Schiff. In my role as director, I
Just
am not
asking yes or no.
Well, I would thank you. I wish to clarify. I'm not, if confirmed, a director. I'm not acting in a legal capacity at all. I'm part of the executive agency branch, and therefore would not be advising clients on any aspects of that.
Well, would it be appropriate in your view for anyone else among legal counsel to do so?
In general, court orders should be followed and respected. There are situations which I recall back from law school between branches.
I guess you're not able to answer the question either. Counsel, how about you?
Senator Schiff, thank you. I mean, I agree. I don't believe it's appropriate to address this hypothetical. At the Department of Justice,
so you want to revise your answer to Senator Kennedy then? That is, there may be circumstances where you advise the administration to disregard a district court of opinion because you believe the Supreme Court might rule otherwise. Is that your opinion?
As a lawyer, the answer is it depends.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll make sure Senator Kennedy is aware that you just might, it depends, advise the administration to ignore court orders.
Senator,
let me ask another question. Mr. Geyser, would you agree that it would be unlawful for the president to accept a gift from a foreign state without the consent of Congress? Would you agree that's unlawful?
Well, thank you for that question, Senator.
Yes or no?
Whether something is lawful or not, I would always want to look.
I'm just asking you a simple question. Is it unlawful for the president to accept a gift from a foreign state without the consent of Congress? Very simple question.
Senator, as a lawyer, I would always give my.
I'm not asking you for a preamble, just yes or no.
Well, Senator Schiff, it depends on the fact.
Well, Mr. Geyser, where is the depends on the facts of Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8, which says, no person holding any office shall, without consent of Congress, accept any present from any foreign state. That's the Constitution. Doesn't say, well, it depends, or it might, or maybe. It says, no person shall do so. Do you find that ambiguous?
Senator,
I thought you were supposed to be the strict constructionists. This is what the Constitution says. Is there an exception for $400 million planes from Gulf emirs?
Senator,
is there an exception for that?
On behalf of the chair, Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do wonder, though, that whether or not we should set up...
Schiff then descended into another tirade, this time over the emoluments clause. He acted shocked that someone would consider context when interpreting the Constitution, as if this man, who pushed a Russia hoax for 4 years, is suddenly the guardian of the founders' intent. Make no mistake, Patriots. What we witnessed wasn't oversight. It was political theater. Schiff and the Democrats are terrified that constitutional conservatives might once again control the legal levers of power. They don't want officials who respect original intent. They want yes men who will rubber stamp the progressive agenda and destroy the checks and balances that protect your freedom. This is exactly why elections matter. This is why we fight to confirm strong, principled legal minds. Because the left has made it crystal clear, they will bully, berate, and belittle anyone who dares to stand in the way of their authoritarian goals. So what do? We stand up. We speak out. We support our conservative fighters in the Senate. We educate our communities about these attacks on due process and judicial independence. And most of all, we never back down. If you're fired up right now, share this video. Help it reach every freedom-loving American who's sick and tired of the political elite trying to rewrite our laws and silence our voices. This isn't just about one hearing. It's about the soul of our republic. Stay loud. Stay strong. Stay patriotic. This is conservative mandate, and we're just getting started. Direct hit 5 SEO-optimized YouTube titles. Adam Schiff melts down when Trump nominee refuses to bow to leftist agenda. Exposed. Schiff tries to trap Trump DOJ pick, but it backfires. Schiff shocked. Conservative nominee won't pledge loyalty to woke judges. Trump DOJ nominee shuts down Schiff's anti-constitutional interrogation. Watch Adam Schiff's disgraceful attack on judicial integrity caught on camera. Fire SEO optimized thumbnail title, rude and attention-grabbing. Schiff throws a tantrum. Memo SEO optimized YouTube description. In this explosive Senate hearing, Adam Schiff completely loses control when Trump DOJ nominees refuse to play his radical leftist games. In this video, we break down Schiff's attempt to force yes or no answers on complex constitutional matters, how nominees like Mr. Edllo and Mr. Geyser pushed back, and what this hearing really reveals about the Democrats' war on due process and constitutional originalism. The radical left doesn't want legal minds who follow the law. They want political activists in robes. Schiff's tantrum shows just how terrified they are of a Trump-aligned DOJ that actually respects the Constitution. We must fight back. Share this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to Conservative Mandate to stay updated on all the latest political showdowns in Washington. Together, we will hold the line and defend the rule of law, freedom, and American values. Hashtag Adam Schiff, hashtag Trump nominee, hashtag DOJ, hashtag Senate hearing, hashtag Conservative Mandate, hashtag Judicial Nominees, hashtag Constitution, hashtag Patriots Unite, hashtag Stop the Left, hashtag Trump 2024, hashtag Expose the Left, hashtag Rule of Law, hashtag America First, hashtag Originalism, hashtag Liberty Rising. Label SEO optimized YouTube tags, 15 total, Republican favored, CTR boosting. Adam Schiff hearing, Trump DOJ nominee, Conservative Senate hearing, rule of law under attack, Republican legal defense, Schiff meltdown, constitutional originalism, Trump judicial pick, Senate exposes Democrats, radical left agenda, GOP versus Democrats, fight back for freedom, conservative patriots, DOJ confirmation hearing, Republican nominee defends Constitution.